testing. Cadet Laurel Borgo, your narrator for this morning's ceremony. During the playing of the national anthem, military members in uniform will stand at the position of attention. Our civilian guests are encouraged to stand and place their right hand over their heart. There are photographers with us today to capture the ceremony. Pictures will be available to all commissionees, but feel free to take as many photos as you wish. Please take this opportunity to turn off or silence all electronic devices. Again, welcome and thank you for attending today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party, the singing of the national anthem, and the invocation.
Precinct. Arms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Port. Arms. Colors. Colors. Birch.
Please join me in bowing our heads in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, as we gather today, we take time to honor this nation, its constitution, its leaders, and the men and women who defend our freedoms. We honor those who dedicate their lives to a cause greater than themselves, protecting liberty and the principles that sustain us. We also give thanks for those who are here today to witness and celebrate this moment with them. We are grateful for Connor Griffin and Joseph Rosner, Guide them in their duties, direct their paths, and sustain them in times of challenge. Grant them with strength, wisdom, and humility as they serve. With these prayers and praises, we seek your blessing. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Thank you, Cadet Sanchez and Cadet Greshel, for delivering the national anthem and invocation. Welcome to the December 2024 commissioning ceremony. We extend a warm welcome to all friends and family members of the commissionees. I would like to take a moment to recognize distinguished members of our UTSA faculty and staff in our audience today. The Dean of University College, Dr. John Wayne Noon. The Senior Administrative Manager for University College, Janet Perez. The University College Program Manager, Reina Tostado. We also extend a warm welcome to all senior military officers and senior non-commissioned officers. Thank you for spending your time with us. This is a momentous day for these cadets as they become the Air Force's newest commissioned officers. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor to introduce you to our guest speaker, Colonel Patricia Griffin, who will deliver today's commissioning speech. Colonel Patricia Griffin retired as the Individual Mobilization Augmentee to the Director of Intelligence, Operations, and Nuclear Integration for the Air Education and Training Command at Joint Base San Antonio, Randolph, Texas. In this capacity, she supported the director in his responsibilities for training all Air Force career fields and advised on all IMA reserve activities. You may read the remainder of Colonel Griffin's military biography in your program. Ma'am, the floor is yours.
Well, as you can see, I'm not going to stand back here because you won't be able to see. I've had the pleasure of being able to meet Joey's family and most of the guests here and the cadre, and I'm so grateful that our family is here too for this. Colonel Cyrus, thank you so much for inviting us here, and all of the cadre. Thank you so much for welcoming, okay, whatever, here today, because this is really special. This is very special. We've had very many, believe it or not, 7 military members in our family who have kind of gone through this. And so, although it's not new in our family, it's still, every single one of them is really special. So you should be very proud. I promise this will not be long. Because the main reason we're here is them. For those of you who don't know, Connor and Joey are both going into a rated career field. Now, I wasn't a rated officer, but I was in operational intelligence, which meant I worked with and trained aircrew on the threat that they may encounter when they're doing their job. I also have, I mentioned before, quite a few members of my family as rated officers, but what that means is that I have a little bit of experience and knowledge about what you two are about to get yourselves into. With that in mind, I have some advice. The first and best piece of advice I can give you is to do the best you can at training. The Air Force is the best trained service and Air Force in the world. And take advantage of that. Enthusiastically dedicate yourself to your training to learn how to do your job the best of your ability. And even though there are going to be challenging times, and trust me, there will be, have fun. This is what you chose to do. Go have fun, make it your own, because you chose this. Trust that the Air Force is giving you the best instruction you can get anywhere in the world. when being the best at what you do is your best chance of staying safe and returning to your family. This is true regardless of your job, but especially in an operational career field. The second piece of advice is to be humble. When you're the best at what you do, you don't have to tell everybody. They already know. So do your best and let others toot your horn for you. The third piece of advice is always, always listen to your intel folks. Just saying. The fourth piece of advice is to remember you're a butter bar, a second lieutenant, and this is a good thing. For the next 4 years, you'll be afforded the opportunity to learn and to mess up. But that will be short-lived. Because once you pin on captain, the gloves come off and you'll be blamed for everything or almost everything. And the cadre knows I'm not only half kidding. That's about how it goes. The fifth piece of advice is to understand that although you're going into the officer corps, your job is to lead. You need to be cognizant that the Air Force views our enlisted folks as not only the backbone of our service, but our greatest asset. So give them your respect. Listen to their suggestions. Incorporate those whenever possible. And always remember to give them the credit when it's due. For the last 4 years, you've trained to be leaders in the Air Force. But you can't be a good leader if you don't have good people. Our enlisted corps is the best. Treat your people well, and they will take care of you. My dad told me as I was leaving for my first assignment to find a senior enlisted person, grab onto their coattails, learn as much as I could. It was good advice then, and it still is. So I pass that from my dad to you. The sixth and last piece of advice for you both is to always check in with your families. We are invested in your past and your present and your future. Let us know how you are and what you're doing as much as you can. Remember, we love you and we're so proud of you. And we worry. It's kind of an occupational hazard. Now, I've been in the position of being both a family member and a military member, and I've deployed to areas of conflict, which means I understand both sides of the military equation. So for the family, I offer this. Connor and Joey have chosen to serve in the best Air Force in the world, and yes, one day they may deploy or be put into positions which are dangerous. Trust that the Air Force has done their job and that Connor and Joey know their job. Also trust that they're both happy in their chosen professions, and if or when they deploy, they will be as safe as they possibly can be because of their training. I know from experience that it's more difficult for the family members than for the military member, because waiting is the hardest part. But you can take comfort in knowing that Joey and Connor are doing exactly what they want to do. They are exceptionally well trained, and they are happy serving their country the best way they know how. We're also very proud to be here for both of you and to witness the commissioning of these two men into the greatest Air Force in the world. Thank you.
We would like to present Colonel Griffin with a gift as a token of our gratitude.
And we just want to thank you for coming out here today and giving us some good words of wisdom as me and soon-to-be Lieutenant Griffin embark on this journey. So, okay.
We're so proud. You get one too.
Thank you, Colonel Griffin. We will now proceed with the swearing in, pinning, and first salute portion of our ceremony. After
solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon the office that which I am about to enter.
upon the office under which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Griffin. Will Lieutenant Griffin's wife, Deanna Griffin, his daughter, Rowan, and his son, Zane, please come forward to pin the rings?
She got her wings before me, don't worry.
Lieutenant Connor Griffin graduated from the University of Texas at San Antonio with a bachelor's degree in multidisciplinary studies. He will be assigned to the Euro-NATO Joint Jet Pilot Training Program at Shepherd Air Force Base, Texas, as a pilot.
I'm just gonna look through and you're gonna put the vacuum on, okay? After she puts the pin for you got another side, don't worry. You're doing great. Alright, now you're gonna do the other side. You gotta have a matching set. Yes. You got one more. You're gonna do my hat too, okay? Here. Where are you from? It's gonna be on this one. She's putting the pin. Good job. Thank you, baby. Hey, whoa, 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 whoa. Give me some snuggles.
Thank you to the Griffin family. It is customary for a new lieutenant to receive his or her first salute from an enlisted member of the United States Armed Forces. After returning the salute, a silver dollar is presented to the enlisted member as a sign of mutual respect between officers and enlisted members. Lieutenant Griffin will receive his first salute from his wife, Air Force Technical Sergeant Deanna Griffin.
Give me a hug now.
Thank you, Technical Sergeant Griffin. We invite Lieutenant Griffin to say a few words.
So I'm not gonna make it long, but I just kind of want to give you a premise. Obviously, I was enlisted before. It took me about 8 years to get to this point where I'm at right now, and I wanted to become an officer ever since I joined the military. making this transition from enlisted to officer it was a tough choice. And 4 years ago, we decided to kind of uproot our whole entire lives. We decided to come down to Texas from Alaska. My wife was in 3rd trimester pregnant with Rowan, and we basically surprised my mom. We came down saying we're just coming to visit, and then just said, hey, by the way, we're staying. So that didn't really work out very well. My mom's not good with surprises. She didn't talk to me for 3 days, and I had to live in her house while we were there. So that was fun.
You don't need to tell everything.
Yeah. But basically, it was kind of one of those things, like everything happens for a reason. All these things led into why I'm here today. They were tough choices, they were hard, financial struggles, everything like that came into the picture. But this is the right way I need to be, because like I said, got through field training, distinguished graduate, came through, got picked for NJEP as well. So all the right things started to happen, and for all my cadets in the back of the room, just keep pushing through, all right? You're meant to be here, you're meant to move forward and become a second lieutenant and join the greatest Air Force. So thank you all, I really appreciate you all coming here today.
Thank you and congratulations, Lieutenant Griffin. Will UTSA and Detachment 842 alumni, 2nd Lieutenant Jeremiah Ramirez and Cadet Joseph Rosner please come forward?
Woo!
I state your name.
I, Joseph John Rosner,
Have been appointed as second lieutenant
having been appointed a second lieutenant
in the United States Air Force.
in the United States Air Force,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
That I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same.
and allegiance to the same,
That I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion,
And I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office upon which I am about to enter.
of the office upon which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you, Lieutenant Ramirez. Will Lieutenant Rosner's mom, Michelle, dad, stepmom, Stephanie, and sisters, Danielle and Erin Rosner, please the Rosner family. Lieutenant Rosner will receive his first salute from his stepdad, retired Navy Hospital Corpsman First Class Louis Calcagney. Thank you, Corpsman First Class Calcagney. We invite Lieutenant Rosner to say a few words.
So, I'm not as good as public speaking as Lieutenant Griffin over there, but good morning, everyone. I wrote a little speech for you guys. How about Lieutenant Griffin over there? I want to thank you all for being here today in support of both Lieutenant Griffin and myself. I didn't know whether to do a generic thank you speech or do a valedictorian type speech, so I kind of landed in the middle. But this journey I've been on has been one of ups and downs, many victories with many defeats. This is a dream I had about 8 years ago and has finally come true. I remember a crucial moment early in my life when I didn't know what I wanted to do with this time I've been given on Earth. I remember my dad asking what I wanted to do with my life in Five Guys, and I truly did not know. I knew what I liked to do, but I never thought what I wanted to do. We didn't leave that Five Guys till we landed on at least one thing, and boy, were we there for some time. But with the help of my dad, we landed on coding. Coming into high school, I was first introduced to the Air Force. My sister joined the JRTC program and loved it. Loved it so much, in fact, that she encouraged and convinced me to join. Now, it wasn't hard for her to do so, since I could barely play baseball anymore and I didn't have anything else to do. So, reluctantly, I joined. I was introduced to this culture that I instantly fell in love with. I learned and did everything I could because I loved it so much. My goals shifted from coding to flying in an instant. So, I set off to become a pilot in the Air Force. I tried the academy, but my grades weren't the best, so I moved on to the next best thing, AFRTC. Put into a COVID-ridden college experience, I did everything I could to set myself up for success to achieve this goal. Until the Air Force told me I couldn't fly. Heartbroken by this, my mom taught me not to give up and to find another way. So we did. I ditched the glasses for some laser eyes, and we found another way. I was able to go for the pilot board and went on to get a slot to get checked out at Wright-Patterson, Ohio. For those of you who don't know, this is where some pilots' dreams go to die. And mine finally did. I was told that I didn't have depth perception and that there was no way to get it because you either have it or you don't. Devastated by this blow in my dream, I was given another option. I could still fly, just not in the airplane. This is where I realized something. Written on the arms of me and my sisters is a quote by our late grandfather, which translates to whatever is will be. This quote helped shift my dream and my focus onto something new. I like to think that the ones watching over me helped me in a way that I do not know yet, setting me on a brand new journey. I would like to thank my dad for teaching me to find my dreams and to chase after them. I would like to thank my sisters for encouraging me to try new things, even if I didn't want to. I would like to thank my mom for building my spirit and to get back up no matter how many times I get knocked down. I would like to thank my grandfather. Even though he passed 6 years ago, he still taught me one final lesson. And finally, I want to thank you all. All my family, my friends, my cadets, coworkers, and cadre members. No matter how small, you have all helped me on this journey. I look to begin a new one, but will never forget the time I had here. So, I leave you with this. Your journey may be difficult, but do not let that discourage you. Try, and try again to make it work and find a way to achieve it. Your journey may change, so stay flexible. That change may lead you down a better path than you once thought. Finally, your journey shouldn't be walked alone, so surround yourself with the people that will support you through thick and thin, as you will not be able to accomplish it yourself. I won't forget the everlasting memories and friendships I've made along the way, and take these lessons I've learned from you all as I enter this new phase in my life. I thank you all again.
Thank you, and congratulations, Lieutenant Rosner. At this time, we invite Colonel Cyrus to present the new lieutenants with their official commissioning certificate and airman's coin, signifying their entrance into the world's greatest Air Force. Lieutenant Griffin, please step forward.
Awesome. Thank you.
Lieutenant Rosner, please step forward. I invite Colonel Cyrus to provide closing remarks, sir. The floor is yours.
Thank you. All right, so first of all, let me say thanks to the MC, the proffer, the honor guard, and especially the cadet who sung the national anthem. Way to go. That was pretty awesome. Every time we put one of these on, Mr. Yano is working behind the scenes, setting these things up, making sure they go flawlessly. So a round of applause, please, for Mr. Yano. Okay, I think we've forgotten one thing. So every time we graduate cadets, we have this thing called the Distinguished Graduate Program. That's the top 10% of our cadets nationwide who earn that recognition. And it's not just field training distinguished graduate, it's their academics, it's how they perform as a cadet, it's their physical fitness scores, it's all around how they succeed in the program. And we're lucky enough in this program to have Cadet Connor Griffin as one of our distinguished graduates. Thanks to obviously all the cadets in the program. They got here because of your support, your help. It's not just a one-way thing, it's a two-way thing. So thank you as well. I can see we've got some alumni in the crowd. Obviously that's pretty important as well too. Thanks for coming, thanks for coming back. It's always good to see former cadets, alumni, especially ones that are doing well in the Air Force already. Thanks for your time and thanks for coming. I want to do a special shout out to the cadre. Obviously you spend a lot of time over the course of their life cycle teaching them, molding them, shaping them, and also learning from them, right? So thanks for doing what you do. I really appreciate your time. And a special shout out to Sergeant Mangru. This is her last commissioning ceremony. She's done it, what, 6, 7 times now, right? You've seen probably 60, 70, maybe 100 Air Force officers walk across this stage. She'll be leaving us here shortly next month, but a round of applause for the cadre, please. We get great support from the university, so University College, Dr. New, Janet, Rania, thank you for being here. We appreciate everything you do for us. This program is growing. If you haven't heard, we went from a number 11 to number 7 in the nation out of 145 detachments. We're probably going to go to number 6. I think we're the only detachment in the nation that's growing and growing that fast. But obviously we wouldn't be able to do what we do without the great support and help from university colleges and UTSA. So thank you for being here. Family, friends, parents, sisters, brothers, loved ones, thank you for being here for these two officers today. Obviously, they've spent a lot of time in the program. It's not only the cadets and the cadre that supported them, but I know behind the scenes, each and every one of you were there for them as well too. So thank you for everything you've done, getting them to this point in their lives. I know they're going to go on and do great things in their Air Force careers, and a lot of that was on your shoulders, so thank you very much. All right, last but not least, the two new second lieutenants we have here, both going to be rated officers. One's going to fighter pilot training, and one's going to go across the city to RPA training. Look for their names in the future. I know they're going to go on and do great things for the Air Force. You spent a lot of time in the program. You've absorbed and learned everything you could from us. You've got a lot more learning to do. Don't let it stop now, right? The thing that I try to encourage them to do is be lifelong learners and think critically about what they're getting ready to get into, and spend a lot of the time understanding that total environment, right? So they both succeeded at that, and they've done really well in the program. So I'm looking forward to what the Air Force has in store for you and what you have in store for the Air Force. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, our newest second lieutenants.
Thank you, Colonel Cyrus. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the Air Force song, signifying the conclusion of today's ceremony. After the Air Force song, we invite you to congratulate our new lieutenants and join them as they sign their official oath of office. Off we go. Enjoy the rest of your day. Please drive home safely